you are.
Okay. All right. Welcome everybody, and let's see, we'll need to get a tonight's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Moving second, any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. So you got a roll call, but we already have all that, right?
Yep.
Okay, is there any public comment or questions related to non-agenda items? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, moving seconded, any discussion?
You did a couple of warrant questions.
Yep.
Am I reading, this is on like page 1. The co-op fees, we paid Charlotte co-op?
No, so I
Okay, yeah.
sent the co-op fees into our impact aid fund. And so what I did was I ended up taking those back, writing a check back to our activity accounts and processing the co-op fees in the activity.
Cool.
So that's what that is. Charlotte paid us, we just moved funds, it's on paper.
There were a couple of,
That's the Lake County Superintendent. So, yes, Carolyn. Absolutely. Gotcha. Nope, we got it.
Probably.
Thank you.
In the middle of a board meeting?
Hey, that's the
You
Lake
gotta
County,
answer
that's
that
the
one.
Lake County Superintendent. I gotta get that one. All right. Next one, Mr. Marchand.
Okay, I was just curious about these. There's a couple, but one of them on page 7, Bob Casagrande, who was our last year's rep. Why do we record a $0?
Well, my guess is that is that a canceled check?
I don't know. I was just curious about
Yeah.
it. Because there's another one in there for a
Yeah,
$10 or something like
I'm thinking that might be a canceled check, Mr. Marchand, which
Okay.
means sometimes it goes to Bob Casagrande and sometimes it goes to Justin's, but Bob Casagrande is Justin's representative, so if you don't get the correct invoice in, or then you're at the check to the wrong person. So my guess is that the 0.00 means I canceled the check on that and issued it back to the correct vendor.
that. And I'm assuming on page 8 that the maintenance cell phone is Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
We've
correct.
set him up and he's,
Yes, we are getting him going live.
and I see he passed his boiler test with flying colors up.
That I'm not sure.
He did, but
The financial statement audit, is that something that's scheduled or do they just pop in?
So it's scheduled for the 3rd, or that's last week in July. We schedule at that time, we get ours done before we turn our trustees financial report in for the state. It's how Neil always did it. It doesn't make it easier on us because we crunch it into a short time period, but we have all of our information correct when we report it to the state, or at least as correct as the auditors can sign off on. And then they'll spend the rest of the year, they have until March to submit it nationally. And once they submit it nationally, then they send us the remainder of the bill. So that's why you're seeing that bill in May.
And then one final, just a question about this. It looks like we paid the 8x8 phone service bill twice. There's one on page 7 and one on page 14
Yes,
for 13.
one for March and one for
Oh.
April.
So we're just catching up with that.
We were, yes, correct.
Yeah, that was it.
yeah. Any other discussion? Yeah, any other discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor? Just on to correspondence, we have some resignations, looks like 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, we had just letting the board know that we have 3 resignations. 1 kitchen, 1 teacher, and 1 volleyball.
In the case of the teacher, does somebody have to then waive the liquidation damages, or is that something that's being considered here? Or
No, because it was done prior to
Prior to
the
that.
June.
in the future, though, would you or the board have to,
If it was after June 15th.
then we either waive it or decide to
Yeah.
pursue
So this one in this case was before the June 15th, so she wouldn't have been affected by it either way.
it? Right, because it
So-
looks like a relocation for family.
Well, and yeah, it wouldn't fall under the dates, that the new policy. So she would have been fine with no penalty.
Okay, yeah,
In
I'm
this
just
case.
curious about how that
Yeah.
would be.
But if it was after June 15th, then we would assess that, or it would go to the board if there was a reason to not make it payable. Yeah. If there was
A reason to
a
waive it.
reason for consideration.
Oh, for, to not waive. it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious about that.
That was just public record.
Yep.
Okay, well, that puts us down to presentations. We have a middle school student presentation.
All right. Hi, guys. We'll have middle schoolers come on in here. So they actually volunteered to come to the meeting. I didn't even have to break any arms or anything, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I'll let them introduce themselves, but we're coming here to tell you a little bit about the writing and media class that we do in the afternoon that takes place every B-day from after lunch until 2 o'clock. And so I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves, and then we'll have Adam switch the slide for us. So go ahead, Quincy, you can start.
I'm Quincy Jensen.
And what grade are you in?
8.
I'm Isaiah Garrett, and I'm in 8th grade. Anthony Sherman, and I'm in 8th grade.
And Isaiah just came from open gym, so he wasn't sweaty nervous. He just was working out hard. So, all right, go ahead, Mr. Huckluck. And Isaiah's going to tell you a little bit about our first project.
This project was, we put our full name down, and then we put like your nicknames that you had, or like if you would change your name, or what your name means, or stuff like that. It's all about your name.
And on the next slide, we have a couple other examples of other kids in the class. Okay, and you can go to the next one.
Okay.
So what we were learning about is we were learning about design elements like shape, color, space, texture. We are learning tools on Canva, which is a really great graphic presentation app that I wanted these guys to work on because it can be used in all of their classes. And we were doing a little research on the side of that. So that was our first project that we completed. And then the next one, we'll have Quincy tell us a little about.
So the Doghouse News is basically a newspaper at middle school. We're assigned specific jobs, like
Top 10.
yeah, we did
Review.
the top 10 and the review, and
And then they get to sign up for 2 other articles that they choose. But there's one we all do together. And so Quincy had, what did you sign up for? Tell them the last time. Both times you actually did it.
I enjoyed doing the comic book.
So she created her own comic strip, which turned out pretty cool. She had a lot of puns in it, which I really enjoyed. So go ahead and switch to the next one. So tell them what we were doing when we were writing.
Like brainstorming, like ideas, to like the opinion column, like what. That's basically when you ask other people their opinions about something, and then drafting.
That was our first draft.
Yeah. And then revising, which you would correct our misspellings and stuff. And then proofreading and then publishing.
So we were working through that process that we do in every English class. We're just doing it on things that they probably actually want to write. So instead of English papers. But, all right, Anthony's going to tell you a little about our last one. Oops,
All
I
right,
don't know why I
so-
put Doghouse News on there. Oops.
in this one, in this activity that me and my classmates are doing, it's where we make our own commercial. And it's like 30, 60 seconds and all that. And you got to make something up that just randomly that you can talk about. And you can make fun things and all that. And you just find your own partner and you just make something fun that you can advertise to people. We were learning about like the different ways that people advertise things, like the different methods to get people to buy things.
Yep.
And we just made our own thing.
Yeah, and then go ahead and click on the next one. So what are some things we have to do on Canva? You could go and you want to tell them any of the techniques.
So
you
on
have.
Canva, so we make our own template and we can change like how long it is. And then we can even put our own voices, like change it to like deeper, higher and all that. And that's how we add like even our own effects to the thing, like explosions, and all that. And that's just how we explain our thing that we came up with.
Yeah, so we were learning a lot about advertising and teaching them the ways that people try to get kids especially to buy certain products. And so they're learning about bandwagon, testimonial, those types of advertising techniques. And they had to make their radio ads have at least 2 of those. And so right now we're not done with this project yet. Anthony was the first one done, I think, with his script. So he and a partner are ready to start recording probably on Thursday. But they had to notice those techniques being used in actual advertising, and then they had to apply it to what they wrote. And so I'm excited to hear what they're going to come up with their advertisements. So it's a lot of language arts things, but it's also maybe more project based than the reading and writing that we do in ELA. So, and these 3, I think, have been doing a great job. They've all been keeping up on their work, and yeah, I'm excited to see how we can finish out their 8th grade year. So, do you guys have any questions for any of the kids that you want to ask, or me?
First of all, we thank you for coming in, giving us a presentation. How many students do you have that participate in this?
We have 18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
And then your the Doghouse News, is that just like a mock paper? Do you actually print that out so the other kids can see what they're doing?
Yeah, we printed, and then what did we do when I had that big stack?
We handed them out to all the teachers or
Oh, nice.
just anybody that wanted one. So it actually be really real.
Yeah, and the first one turned out 28 pages, and I'm still finishing the next one, which is already in the 20s, and I'm about halfway done. So they got better as we were working. It's also posted online on, I think you can get to it from the school website, but
Oh, check.
yeah, there's a site that has all the Doghouse Newses on it.
Does it have the radio announcements too?
No,
With the sound
but I
effects?
have my YouTube channel that
There you go.
has those on it, my school one. So they got to listen to Miss Sydney Granders that she did in 6th grade, and we got to embarrass her a little bit, but it was pretty fun to hear somebody that they know that who's an adult that got to do the project. So, yeah. Any other
Quincy,
questions?
did you draw your comics?
Yeah.
You did?
Chickens.
Based off of your chickens at home?
No.
Just chickens in
Yeah.
general? Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think, about 12 frames, I think, and then she had a lot of good jokes in there, foul jokes. Foul.
Yeah.
So- yeah, it was pretty funny, a lot of puns, and she had to do it twice because she did kind of a quick mock-up sketch of it, and then I went over it, we corrected spelling and that sort of thing, and then she redrew it really nicely, and we scanned it and put it in the newspaper. So
Nice.
turned out great.
Peek on your ad, what are you selling?
What are you selling, you and Steve?
So me and my friend Leland instead of like Red Bull, we made Red Cattle, and it's just something, different kind of energy.
Does it do anything special that Red Bull doesn't do?
Makes your ears really blow smoke.
Nice.
There you go. Who doesn't need that? So
Isaiah, what was your favorite part of the class?
The top 10
Yeah, what top 10?
in the newspaper.
Okay. So what was the topic of the top 10? Or were there different topics?
Yeah, and you got the pick. Mine was video. Wait, no, mine was rap songs.
yeah, and he liked to get to do the research on some of that too.
Oh, I bet,
Yeah, so he
Nice.
was researching something that he was interested in, and that I think that made the success rate go up a lot because everybody got to pick their own topic. So, which isn't always the case in ELA, but in this class they did a lot of choice, which I think it makes it a lot more fun. It's a pretty relaxed afternoon class, so
Nice.
we're having a lot of fun. So
Well,
All right.
You
Well,
think
that's
we can see it,
the Dog House
on-
News.
online?
Let me see if I can.
does that come out once a month?
About once a month. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if I can.
Copies in your room.
You don't have any copies. I have it on Canva, which I could send it to Adam really quick.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. And here it is. Share.
If you guys have an extra one next month, you can drop it off in the library. I do frequently
Okay.
pass through here.
Okay, I sent it to your email,
On my
Adam.
way from
I will
the door
forward it to
the
all the
hallway.
board members.
Yes. Yeah, you could.
Just.
Do you need a Canva account or something?
They come with your Google account, so they all have Google accounts anyway, and they sign up using that, and it adds them to my class. So it's pretty easy that I get to see all of their work, and then they can have their own separate too. But yeah, it's just associated with their Google login. It's easy to work on, and hopefully they'll get to use it in the future when they're making presentations for other classes. So that's the idea. So,
Awesome.
all right, thank you guys
Thank
very
you guys
much.
so much.
All right,
Thank you.
good job, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay, that moves us on to another presentation of state property tax reductions.
So I just wanted to give news to the board, community, anybody that was interested in the legislative session for tax reductions at NQEC. I work on that board. They support and promote the Constitution in regards to education, but they also, their goal is to lower property taxes, as was a whole lot of people, obviously, interested in that. So market value of $100,000 home, taxes will go down next year, 231. You could go through there, a $200,000 home, 463, 300,000, working down 700 up to, half the $500,000 homes, 1,075. So it gives you an idea of, lower property taxes for next year, which is great news. So I just wanted to share that and make sure community is aware that the work that the legislative session and outcomes and work from everyone across the state, including NQEC, supports the lowering of the property taxes, and the Lake County reductions are in the board packet.
Thank you. No old business. We'll go on to board preparation and planning, 10.01 school district goals, 24-25.
Updated for May, I'll have in June, I'll be finishing up those for the end of the year report in July.
This was sort of good, on page 4. There's item 4, seniors complete a survey in May. Have they done that, do you know? Or
The exit survey,
That's
yeah, they do that right at the very end
Right
of the
at the end.
school year.
Yeah.
will we get a chance to see that?
It's confidential.
Confidential.
You can, I usually present the results with my report in June.
Okay. Cool.
Anything else? Okay, we'll move on to 10.2 buildings and ground summer plan.
Just an update of the last meeting and what our plans are for summer in terms of building and grounds projects, etc. So, most updated list.
Have we, the auction, July 16th, is that right? Yeah. So do we need to make arrangements to get rid of stuff? I know Steve said some of it will magically disappear over the week, but then we'll do we need a big dumpster or something?
We'll use the dumpster that's out back. There's not usually there's room in the dumpster behind the maintenance shed after that Wednesday. We usually leave it out for about 3 days and it slowly disappears, and whatever is left on the following Monday goes in the dumpster.
But we don't need to order anything.
No.
Alrighty then.
Anybody else? Okay, that moves us on to new business, 11.01, coaching recommendations for fall and winter.
Recommend hiring fall winter coaches as recommended by the AD and extracurricular committee. Head high school girls, Paul Delaney. Assistant high school girls, Riley Adamson. Head high school volleyball, Riley Adamson.
I'll make a motion to recommend the fall winter coaches 25-26 as listed.
I'll second that.
Okay, we move in second. Any discussion? Do we have to advertise?
This was
This
follow
was
up
it.
from,
Because it's a new position, that's what I'm asking.
No, that's been done.
It's been-
Okay.
This is why these are weighted, right?
Yeah,
Right, okay.
What is it?
Right, because she's, so we have a,
And just so the board knows also that so we looked into this, and relatives that go to the second cousin are the only ones that we need to advertise. It's not our job to determine who is related. So if and when a board member knows a family member falls into this category, it's the board's obligation to let us know. We will advertise 15 days prior in the newspaper. So we're not guessing who's related to anyone from now on. It's now on the board to let us know, and we will take care of the advertisement.
any other discussion? All those in favor? Should I abstain?
it's up to you. I mean,
I'll vote for him.
I was gonna say, if you believe she's capable of the job.
Okay, move on
Passes
to
4-0.
11.02 trustee handbook. Been rewritten. I hope everybody read the new articles in there.
It's on Canva.
No, you're right, there is no changes, right?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the board trustee handbook for 25-26.
Second.
Okay, moving second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Moves on to 11.03 out-of-state travel, trip to DC in June.
I didn't get a lot of information on this one, so I'll have to lean on Mr. Hendrickson. What I do know is we're recommending, it was a request made for out-of-state travel for EF Travel Group to Washington DC and New York, June 10th to the 15th.
Do we know how many kids?
I don't know that number.
So 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
I think it's six.
And a parent as well, so it's 2 adults.
What's the EF travel group?
What's that?
What's the EF travel group?
That's the company that does student travel.
All over the world, it's education first, it's like one of the biggest.
They're out of Boston. Yeah, I think we did close up, and did you guys do your? No, Costa Rica was a thing.
Costa Rica was a more local company, but.
But Close Up was part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're like one of the ones.
Yes, very big.
I make the motion to recommend out-of-state travel for the high school EF travel group to Washington DC and New York, June 10th through the 15th.
Second.
Moving second. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Moves on to 11.04 for employment for a new elementary assistant.
Recommend the hiring of Michelle Charbonneau as the new elementary administrative assistant as per salary schedule.
I'll recommend hiring Michelle Charbonneau, as a new elementary administrative assistant as per salary schedule.
That's it.
Okay, then second, any discussion?
What is that start date?
That'll be in August,
I don't know.
2 weeks prior to school starting. It's on the calendar.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, moves to the 11.05 surplus sale. Briefly mentioned.
Recommended approval of the surplus sale, July 16th, 2025, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Once, and if it's approved, then we'll get information out to all the newspapers and website and thrill share, Facebook, and start advertising the date.
Recommend the approval of the surplus sale on July 16th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I'll second that.
Okay, move second, any discussion? Well, this includes like all the books and I mean, everything we've gone over.
There's going to be a lot. This will probably be one of the better surplus sales just because of that maintenance shed. We've never gone through the maintenance, the old maintenance shed, which is in the middle of the parking lot. And there's a lot of things in there that I think.
So nothing left unturned.
There can be no stone unturned
Yeah.
in terms of what we need to purge.
The, one of the things we discussed, would we get that cleaned out before paper run?
Oh, the
Would we have a
paper
place to
shed.
put paper in there?
Are we looking to move paper? Is that?
I thought the discussion was to put paper out.
Out
there,
here.
is that-
Either in the new maintenance shed or, well, because.
I think we talked about the art room, right?
Bill,
Well, we get work. So probably the bus garage, the old bus garage. This,
If we can we get things moved out of there in
thanks.
time to have enough room for paper?
We're planning on, if we can't, we'll bring it in the old maintenance shop and then just bring it over.
And we could also,
So you can see on hard surface.
not having to move it twice.
should be at any time. Paper hasn't arrived yet, has it?
No.
The invoice has arrived, so.
Okay.
We
I'm
don't,
assuming
so
that
it's
the
coming.
paper is on its way. Yeah.
we don't, but we don't know when it's gonna show. It's just-
No, not at this point. They usually call and tell us they got a big.
We'll be there in an
big
hour.
forklift. Yeah.
And if we have to, either space, if we have to, we'll put it in the main one and keep a few things outside until we get it moved over.
Is there stuff in there, if I was thinking of that old bus line, that other people might wanna salvage, like there's a barbecue, I don't know who that is. Get it out of there before we,
Yeah, we won't sell the barbecue.
No.
That's PTA.
Yeah,
It's being used in the middle school.
should we say, be nice if you got that out of there before we start moving junk? Would it be possible to do it?
yes.
I mean, just to let people know that that's gonna be cleaned up.
If you want to keep it,
Well, or just, yeah, keep, know where it is.
or at least we know what we're supposed to keep. I guess would be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Before we sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? All right, surplus sale July 16th. 11.06 summer maintenance position.
Recommend Melody Lerma for summer maintenance staff. Melody's here. Yeah, she's here.
I'd recommend Melody Lerma for summer maintenance.
I'll second that.
Okay, move second, any discussion? All those in favor? Welcome aboard.
Welcome
She worked there last year, did a great job.
I was gonna ask, yeah, this is not your first, yeah.
11.07 classified rehire for 25-26 school year.
We're recommending the following classified positions.
We checked the list.
Did our best.
Did our best. I believe Chat GPT might have checked it too, so hopefully. And did some comparison.
I'll recommend the classified list attached for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second that.
Moving second, any discussion? You-
No.
Will there be a, discussion of increases? We were waiting for, just asking, because we were waiting for.
Yeah, no one's brought anything to me, so.
Well, we were talking about it before with, everything, so just curious. Okay.
No one's brought it up yet, so I've been kind of waiting.
Any other discussion?
Waiting for him. What were we?
Oh, no, it was just a question I had about the classifieds. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor? Puts on administration and leadership. Sheldon, you got something to add to this?
Nothing to add, just wanted to point out the item that, as you know, I'll be gone for 1 year, and as per our bylaws, our VP steps up, and that is Alex Schilling, so she'll be as the president. But she does live in Missoula, so getting to, we'll be kind of tag teaming the meetings a little bit more with Tim Krantz also helping out to support that position. But as I'm still a school employee, my email is available. So if any questions come up or anything, just send me an email.
So they wouldn't vote for a new.
As per our bylaws, because we're in the middle of my term, it's a 2-year
Okay.
term. She will finish my term, and then next year they will re-elect all the officers.
Okay.
Everybody's on a 2-year term. And we just appointed Tim Krantz as he volunteered. into
I was
the
gonna say,
VP
does he
position.
know?
He surprisingly was there and enthusiastically raised his hand. So that's what happened.
Perfect.
Ms. Sherman, when is your, I know I asked you this, where will you be on?
Pretty much July through July. Mhm.
So like July 1.
July 2nd is the thing. Mhm.
Cool.
And I was accepted into the program for my sabbatical in my sabbatical application at the certificate teaching program at MSU and pursuing that for the fall.
Very nice.
Yeah, exciting future. We did have a board fed meeting where we discussed feedback from
Yes.
membership.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I just kind of put in there because Mr. Marchant was the only one at that meeting. So there is some feedback that's available for all the board from Marchant. And we talked a little bit about the best way to, share that information with the rest of the board, and maybe through Mr. Marchant is the best path for that.
So maybe, and I thought it was a real balanced feedback. I mean, there were a lot of accolades and some concern about improvements, but I thought it was real balanced. But anyway, yeah, I would like to share that with the board. If that works out, maybe next.
Candid presentation.
What's that? Yeah, I can't do it. But yeah, no, I would like to do that.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Move on to the AD. Is Brent here? Oh, there it is. You got anything to add to yours, boss?
No, sir.
Any questions for Mr. Hall?
It's not really-
No?
Are you gonna be here tomorrow?
What's that?
Will you be here tomorrow?
Have we got coaching reviews? Coaches reviews, I mean,
Evaluations?
evaluations, yeah. When I say
They're
reviews.
doing they generally get them together when all the seasons are done, with softballs, track and tennis aren't done yet, so. After state, then I'll. goes out.
Yes.
Bills? Okay, thank you. Moves us on to elementary.
Nothing more to report.
Nothing more to report.
Miss Ms. Moore, do you know how how the plant sale cleared?
About $2,800. Yeah, a little over, I think.
It was the first time I was there, I was in the background weeding and watering, lawn washing, and I was overwhelmed by the number of people who were.
I know it's not in there, Mr. Sergeant, because it was after when the report was due.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the June report, but yeah, they cleared about $2,800.
Wow, it was pretty busy. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
And as long as we're on it, Ms. Shulman and the elementary kids are doing ceramic tiles for the greenhouse. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it's worth a trip out there. They're absolutely beautiful, and
They're in progress. It'll look more finished by the end of the school year.
yeah. But I mean, it's
all
pretty
high
cool.
school labor.
And every elementary kid
Every elementary kid has
has a tile on the thing, and just a very colorful and exactly sort of spirit. I've been looking for. So anyway, thank both of you for getting that together. It was very nice.
Are we doing a spring fling or what do we call it before? A
Play day.
play day?
Yeah, June 4th.
June 4th?
Yeah, we got an inflatable obstacle course. Yeah, it's awesome.
No,
We got tribal games,
No.
an inflatable obstacle course.
Why not?
you're chaperone.
It's gonna be awesome. Looking for volunteers, parent volunteers,
Can't participate.
grandparent volunteers.
So just remind me real quick, June 4th would be a Wednesday, is that right?
That's the day before school gets out.
Last day for kids is Thursday, and
Yeah.
then what, half a day for teachers on the
It's
6th?
kids, yes, kids out at noon on the 5th, correct?
Oh, okay.
And then staff stays off.
Oh.
Okay, anybody else?
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moves on to middle school, high school, Mr. Hendrickson.
Just two things on there. We already talked about graduation, but we will be hosting the district powwow on the Thursday, the 29th. So just wanted to, on behalf of all the kids and Ms. Claremont and Colleen, invite you guys to the powwow. It'll be starting at lunch, 12:30. That, and then the next day, the 30th, we will have the grad walk, senior signing day, and the high school 48th annual end of year awards assembly. So that'll all be, grad walk will be through the district, right? Starting in the elementary and working its way through. That'll motate into senior signing day, which we're excited for. Last year, we kind of fine tuned all this and realized to do it all together is the best route because everyone's dressed up. They got all their stuff. So it looks and presents a lot nicer. And then that moving into our end of year awards, which is one of my favorite events because it's all teachers, all classes, all disciplines presenting awards. And then so it's 9 through 12, sort of a year of a great way to end the year, celebrating our kids' achievements and all that. So that'll be 8:15 to probably 11. And then we walk out of there and into finals. So you're all invited, encouraged, welcome. We'd love to see you there. That's it.
Mr. Hendrickson, I saw in the warrants there was a middle school leadership speaker. Do you remember who that was?
On what?
It was in the warrants, just a middle school leadership speaker. It was
For next year?
No, it looked like it was in this month's warrant.
We paid for it, but I don't know if it was in the fall or not. It's a gear up.
Yeah, that's next fall.
Oh, next fall.
Okay.
Who is it?
It's not a it. It's multiple people. It's similar to what when our kids would go to the state year up conference, they have like a leadership sort of training things like that, and they send a group of people, and it's like working with middle school kids on leadership stuff. So paid for through Europe. Yeah. So that's now, but swinging around right when we come back in August, September.
And remind me, where and when do I need to be at graduation?
Graduation.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Right.
the 7th at
Starts at
11. Starts at noon, so 11:30
Just in
to 40.
high school office, about 11:30.
Yeah, we'll just be there. We'll work our way out to the field. I'll probably be running around, but just right out on the foyer.
11:30.
And you got us down for what you need.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Middle school, high school.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anybody else? All right.
Thank you.
What's on tech, Mr. Nesper?
I don't have anything to add. The only thing I would point out is that we still don't know about our E-rate stuff. Supreme Court is to be making a decision about constitutionality of USAC, which is the administration that administers those funds. I don't suspect we'll get an answer shortly before the court closes for the summer, so June-ish. But unless you have any questions.
Any questions for him? Okay, thank you, sir. Moves on to district, Mr. Sergeant.
One thing I will add is just be prepared for the rollout next month of Diligent Community. It's the new board docs platform, which will be a challenge for all of us. So bear with us as we trudge through a new program. So that, and we did approve the PA intercom system for school safety. So next year, we will have the capability of locking down the entire school district, with the only access to the elementary will be through the front door, where you've got to go through an intercom system to be buzzed in, and the front door of the high school, where you also will have to be buzzed in order to access either building.
This is what we talked about.
Yeah, we was looking at the price up front. It was too expensive to purchase, but after we were able to finance it over 5 years, $2,500 a year over 5 years. So we'll be able to use, maybe even probably pay it off next year with the building reserve funds that will be doubled next summer. So, and that's through Verkada.
How did the medical transport, the mobile medical unit, how'd that go?
It's kind of tough starting it the last 3 weeks of school, but they will be here again tomorrow. They're parked right out here. If you get a chance tomorrow or the following Wednesday or any Wednesday over the summer, they'll be here for physicals, doctor appointments. They're going to work all the way through the summer every Wednesday, and they park right out behind us here.
Yeah, right on.
So, yeah.
I did actually have a chance to look through it. It's actually a pretty cool little setup they have. And like you said, they are going to be here every Wednesday for the next 2 years, all the way through summer. They're in hopes to build a clientele. So after that 2-year agreement, they have reason to stay. So they do DOT physicals, I found out. So I let Mr. Smith know that for his drivers. So yeah, they can do everything but x-rays pretty much. So very cool little setup they have. So very nice ladies.
Yeah, I took a tour of that also.
Yeah.
When they first showed it, very impressive.
Sweet.
Really nice.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, meeting adjourned, 7:51.
Get out of here.
You get out of here. 7:51.
You got a 9.
We started at 6. Still